today?
I feel good. Are we a gamer over there? This is a gamer chair.
It is. I'm a gamer, but the thing is that my console and everything is in the living room, but I use this space to mostly record content,
I got you.
different type of content, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
Fair enough. Trying to
you
see if
know,
my people are out there. I'm a gamer. I'm a little bit of an addict myself.
oh, same here. Recent my addiction right now is Fallout.
Oh, there you go. It's beautiful, beautiful game, beautiful show, amazing show. Oh my God.
Yes, it is amazing. So, Jesse, today we're going to be talking about your short film. I don't know if the interwebs will like it, but
We'll go with
um
BIE if you want. It's up to you.
BIE,
Make
I'm
you happy.
early.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm early, and I gotta say, I was when I saw the title, I was my mindset was this is going to be a super comedy film. I was like expecting a like an hour 30 film. When I saw the time, I was like, wait, this is a short film. And I was like, okay, let's same way. Let's go ahead and see and watch it and enjoy it. And the thing is, you captured what I think that a lot of us that use that maybe still work in any type of company sometimes go through, you know. And what inspired you to bring this story to the people?
Well, I mean, it's obvious I'm not a fan of office culture. I love people, I really do. I can't stand it's absurd. The things that happen in offices are nuts. The culture that exists, it's inhuman, right? It's like you go in, you wear clothes that make you uncomfortable. You sit in meetings where, it's like death by a thousand paper cuts. It's passive aggressive. It's filled with job justifiers who don't do anything and then put the work on somebody else. It's everybody's fighting for their tiniest piece of pie. And it's like it sucks. It sucks, all of it. I mean, I don't know. And then the money flows to the top. Like, how does this make any sense? Or to the shareholders, not the people actually doing the job and getting it done. And then you feel like thankless. You don't feel rewarded. You don't feel like you're making a difference. You're a cog. And like this does not breed nice behavior between people, but it's funny because it's absurd. And that's kind of my job, is to take the absurd and make it even more absurd, to make sure that, to communicate it so that we talk about it and we don't, lose ourselves in it. Like if we can't laugh at ourselves, we're in real trouble.
No, yeah, the reason I actually loved it because last year I used to work from home and kind of like a hybrid thing,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the weather here in Puerto Rico. So I used to work in this office place as well, and I was like, it was the same thing, a lot of work, no thanks, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the short film, I'm like, yes, this is how I felt. Right now I am a stay at home dad. I love it.
Beautiful.
Um and I gotta say, like this short film speaks to a lot of people.
Mm.
Now, something that caught my eye, there's one of the things that really caught my eye is that when we're getting to, like, let's say the second act to the final to the end of the short film, you have like a very big, I would say, like, I'm gonna say it is an action set piece between our two main characters. What inspired you to go to do that type of like scene, going back and forth to each one, and putting them in different obstacles to get to, to their workplace?
Well, first I want to say, John, I'm very thankful that you're doing this with me today. And the reason I want you to hear that is because that was a thankful universe for you, and I appreciate you. It's important. It's important that you're putting, me on the web, and you're doing this for other people, and you're doing your thing. So thank you. That's awesome. Awesome. So, how did I do that, or why did I do it? I think I love it's like, the design of it is, I love planes, trains, and automobiles, and Run Lola Run, and movies that have movement, thrust. I find that a lot of films, there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to say for those that have done this. This is just not
Mm-hmm.
for me always to do. I'm going to set my short film in a single room and something will unfold, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I like thrust. I like feeling like that there's a driving momentum through your piece. And so how I do that in the first part of it is I create this dynamic between the two pairs of friends where they're talking, negatively about each other. I'm refraining from cursing. I do it a lot. It's a New York thing. Sorry. So for
No
your
worries.
so there's driving force where they're sort of, talking trash about each other. That's a better word. And that's so editorially it drives you. It's got momentum and speed going forward editorially. And using 4 locations each set of actors to sort of just keep it expansive. Don't make it feel small. Because what I have working against me is I don't have, $100 million budget. I've got limits, but how I overcome them is I just use a lot of places to raise production value. So for the second part, I wanted it to hit a boiling point, settle for a second, and then the race begins. It's designed in the reverse way that a normal film is made. And this is why my brain, I appreciate cinema. I appreciate trying to push the envelope. So a normal film starts off, it's regular scene, slight montage, and then big montage finish, like a Return of the Jedi kind of thing.
Hmm.
And for me, this is complete montage followed by intercutting race, ending with something else. So I did it because I love the feeling of go and that we're going together through a thing. And logistically, it was hard, and there were pitfalls and there's stories, but we only have a few minutes. And I can tell you, nobody died. Nobody died. We finished the film. What a miracle.
And I wanted to know because I I personally know a couple of independent filmmakers from here in Puerto Rico. One of them is a very close friend of mine, and we've spoken about how filmmaking, at least here in Puerto Rico, is very, very difficult.
Mm,
But how was your experience bringing this short film to fruition? Due to the fact that you have a lot of movement and different locations, and you mentioned about again, not all short films have or films have the major budget, but
mm.
how was your experience bringing this one to fruition?
I mean, it's hard. Listen, to make any film is hard. So kudos to anybody who makes anything. To make something good is harder. To make something great is next to impossible. And that's the thing. You drive yourself crazy. I invest every single dollar I have in buying equipment. Right? That's all I do is just invest in more stuff, more lenses, more this, more that. I don't rent them. I just keep them because I want to keep making stuff. So I'm all in. You know what I mean? And I'll lose whatever money I got to lose. I work my butt off for a while. I earn enough money. I go broke doing these things over and over and over. There's a lot of risk. But we do also, by the way, we have our Puerto Rican lead, Jasenia, and we have our Dominican co-lead. And so, 20 years ago, there would have been beef there, at least like logistically, people talking. So
Hmm.
but they were the best of friends. They're amazing. And I love working with these Latina actresses, man. They brought such I grew up in New York City. So, and I'm a public school kid from a single mom. So this was part of my upbringing. It was like being my Puerto Rican friend's house, my Dominican friend's house, my Cuban friend's house. It's not my culture, but since it represents my upbringing. So when I see like my films, one of the reasons I have so much diversity in my films, you didn't ask, but you're from Puerto Rico, so it came
Yeah.
up, like, is that that's the world that represents my world growing up. This is not something that I'm picking that's separate for a particular reason. It's just because that culture is so rich to me. And the mannerisms are so interesting to me because I was at their house every night and it just represents my friendships. So they're almost recreating that sort of trash talking friends that I grew up with. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Making films is hard, man. Just go do it. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah, I did. That's another thing that I wanted to ask because at least in the time that I've been doing this,
Hmm.
it's been now 3 years, and I've seen and numerous more independent films than your typical high budget films.
Hmm.
Can you give me your thoughts in regards to why you think there are more independent filmmakers like yourself? Just, hey, I have this story. I might have, I don't know, probably 20K in my bank account to make it happen. And I'm gonna do it. And sometimes it goes up and it blows up, it gets momentum. What are your thoughts in regards to that? We're seeing more independent films than these high budget films, even though yes, there's when we go to theaters, there's 20 films running, but at least in my experience, I'm seeing more independent filmmakers out there than your usual 200 million, $300 million films.
I think there's a lot of reasons for that. That's a sort of long conversation, but I'll cover it as quickly as I can. Um, I think number one, movies became like amusement park rides now. Like only the big franchises are really promoted, and you get the Marvel, and that's great. There's a place I enjoy those movies. I don't take anything away from them, but where's like the rom coms and all this stuff? They're all gone. Like you don't see them anymore. So I think there's a hunger to not only, see them, but make them yourself. Then you have the internet. So there's an actual way to reach people. Um, and then you have like the idea, and then the negative side is you have the pipe dream that's sold to a lot of filmmakers that this will happen and you'll see riches and fame. And I think we have a fame culture. We have like the internet. tells everybody, my mom, tries to get likes on Facebook. This is like everybody's driven. So a lot of people get into different reasons, right? Some people get into chase fame. I have no interest in that. To be famous would only be a tool to make more stuff. I don't care. Like, but there are some people who just they idolize fame. They want to be YouTubers. So you get into that thing, and they want to dabble in sort of being creative. I look for people that are this is a calling to them. This is what makes them get up in the morning. If I don't express myself, I won't breathe. Art is air for me and the people that I deal with. And I'm not saying that somebody has to be a purist, but I think there's just a lot of things driving them towards it to create independent film. And I think that people want to offer their new point of view, right? We talked about like the diversity of like at least my point of view a little bit, but people are looking for their voice, man. Like they're tired of seeing the same voice. And it's not just the same like, ethnicity. They want new voices. There's new ideas out there. They're tired of a system that's just repeating the same stuff over and over. So I think there's a demand for originality, and I'm trying to contribute to that in my way. Hopefully it moves, but I get richer every time I encounter something that's different. My life is fuller. So I hope they keep doing it, even at their own peril, unfortunately, because that's what it takes.
That's amazing words. And this would be my final question for you today. Um, Before we started the interview and everything, um, you have mentioned to me that you have just recently got news of an award. How does it feel that you got the award?
Oh, it's
And
it hurts.
what will be your next step after you do all of this for this short film? What will be your next step?
I'm already 80% done with the next one. I went right into the next one at my own peril. It's killing me. I'm dying, but it's really good. It's really good as well. I'm very, very excited. It's longer, has the same crazy pace and social commentary. So there's another project. I need to get back to writing. I want to have like a bunch of pitches. I already have pitches, but I want to have more feature films written because I want to make them. I want to make dope stuff. And how does it feel? It feels wonderful to be acknowledged by the people who came to that screening and voted up the film for the best audience award. I feel honored and touched. And it's been a long struggle for me. You mentioned people in Puerto Rico trying to figure out the resources. I feel that. I feel that it's real hard, and it'll take from you. It'll rob your soul. So when you have somebody say, "Hey, you did a good job," it's like I'll probably get off this in tears soon. It's going to happen because it's been that long and that big of a struggle. But I always say with that, thank you to my team and thank you to all the other filmmakers. There is no best. It doesn't exist. I just happen to get acknowledged after many years of trying. I hope it leads to something, but if I die tomorrow, and which I hope I don't, but I did something. And it's not just about the award. It's about the fact that other people like yourself were kind enough to take a look. And I feel good about sharing what I do.
That's amazing. Amazing words, Jesse. And thank you
Thank
very
you, man.
much for giving us a chance to talk about the film and talk about everything that is to be a filmmaker. And I hope that we get to sit down and talk about another film in the future.
Awesome, dude. Anytime, please reach out. You're the best, John. Thank you for
Thank
what you
you.
do.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.